I'm pretty sure Akaru's team is what SMB used against me in the best leaderboards tournament or whatever, BLT. Am I allowed to just like spoil sets here?
I hope so.
I hope so. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't. Um, yeah, I mean JRL's team at this point, I think everybody's seen it. I've run it a ton. It's pretty good, but actually one of its worst matchups is something Akaru has. And so we'll see what happens here. Thing. It's kind of annoying to analyze stuff at preview when you can't spoil sets. I mean, obviously, every team that like Incineroar is your fire type is generally kind of weak to Genesect. And so I think JRL's Genesect really goes in here. It outspeeds Spectre and can do a lot of damage to it. And it can just pivot on the Incineroar. And JRL's team really punishes pivoting.
Ooh.
Yeah, so JRL smartly doesn't lead Mew, which you typically lead because of Spectre, and Akaru probably knows the team, and immediately he tried to anti-lead Mew. So, I mean, if I'm JRL, this seems like a pretty free. It looks like it looks pretty free to just click knock off in the Spectre slot and U-turn on the Incineroar, because Incineroar can't Flare Blitz, or if it does, then it's Flare Blitzing after Genesect is U-turned out. And you'd get it in on the Rillaboom. Okay, it's Grassy Seed. Oh, he fakes out.
Wow.
I mean, that's good damage, but Grassy Seed, if this is Grassy Seed Calm Mind, which it probably is, it's going to be hard to beat for JRO. Oh, it's Grassy Seed Nasty Plot. Okay.
Ooh. Oof.
I mean, JRO has his two best answers to Spectre in right now. So this looks like a pretty good slot because you can just like Dragon Tail the Spectre and Parting Shot the Spectre. So Karu may just let the Parting Shot happen and just fake out and Shadow Ball the Kyurem and try and get a lot of damage on the Kyurem because you can't do much otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
With the parting shot, the next Shadow Ball won't kill the cube by itself.
Yeah. And so JRL has a pretty free either Icy Wind, which I don't think helps you that much. So I'd say you'd go into Genesect here and click
Yeah,
Dragon Tail
Genesect
on the
seems pretty
Spectre.
clear to me here.
Yeah, and you can just U-turn. Nope. He goes Rillaboom.
Why? Hmm.
The thing is after a Grassy Seed, this Spectre is like has pretty decent physical bulk, and Incineroar can switch in and Intimidate. So it's not like, normally Rillaboom's really good in a Spectre because it can just click Wood Hammer and it deletes Spectre. But yeah, I think Akaru has a pretty free just Protect and switch in Incineroar here.
Yeah, with the Intimidate, that means this Rillaboom isn't really that threatening to the Spectre.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so JRL reads that is Akaru's play. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so now I think we've been proven that JRL's Incineroar is faster. And so I think he can go into Kieran here and just fake out the Incineroar and Dragon Tail. And yeah, it looks like that's what he's doing. I mean, you're probably going to lose your own Kieran Black, or at least sacrifice so much of its health doing that. But that is like not the worst thing. Like it's not like that great into the Akaru's team. Okay, wow, you didn't even. Ooh, that's bad for a card. Didn't even get the damage on Kieran.
Yeah,
I
must
mean,
not
obviously,
have expected the Dragon Tail there.
yeah,
Yeah, now he's in a very bad position.
I feel like as well keeping the Incineroar in was maybe not the best because JRL's Incineroar had been revealed faster, so the fake out into it seemed pretty clear. So you could have switched it out to bring it in again there, potentially.
yeah, agreed. I mean, I think in this position, JRL's got to start getting Mew in because this team of Karos is, and I'm just gonna say it, like this is obviously a hazard to Mew, and so Akaru's team is like pretty weak to hazard. So you want to get like Stealth Rocks up, just because Akaru's team is so heavily predicated on pivoting, and it's got like the Kieran Black. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
But grassy terrain runs out, and so Mew can just set up Stealth Rocks pretty easily here.
If it does, it definitely dies for it though,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think
Yeah.
is the best use.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it was really beaten much, so it just needed to get up Stealth
The
Rocks.
Incineroar stayed in to go for something that isn't a parting shot.
Knockoff.
Might
Could you
try and
imagine if
knock
to
off.
be into the real slot?
Ooh.
Yeah, no, knock off in case that's Boots Incineroar, which it wasn't, but now Incineroar is going to take a ton every time it tries to switch in. So I think that was a good play by JRL. Knock off in case it is Boots. What does Akaru go into here? Rillaboom. I don't know about that. I don't know what Akaru had a good option. But
Well,
it
yeah, Fini
seems,
was bad because then JRL would just go into Rillaboom. That would be
yeah.
very bad.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, Akaru's in a tough spot. I mean, yeah, you got to go in center line there, but
Okay.
just because you can get off the how much is a flare blitz or a knockoff going to do here on your Spectre?
Well, it's definitely in glide range at least. Though there is the Fini in the back to remove priority is one thing.
Yeah, but this Shadow Ball with no boosting item on
Yeah,
Assault Vest, Rillaboom, and Incineroar isn't
it's
going to
not
do that
killing
much.
either of these either way.
Yeah, and Incineroar on Akaru's side is also getting really chipped down. So,
Somehow this
I just
-2 Incineroar's in a really good spot still.
yeah, it really is. And it can pivot now because it's finally the taunt is over. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty free for JRL to just fake out the Incineroar and knock off the Spectre slot. And or parting
Well,
shot it. You could
knockoff might not KO. I think Flare Blitz does more actually, and would KO for sure.
Ooh.
Ooh, that crit. So I think JRL read a Spectre Protect thing.
I don't think you needed to read that, though. I think just making sure the Spectre didn't fire off a shot for free there. Just maintaining the better position seemed fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Now he has like a free Fini, right?
yeah, I definitely think Feeney switching right here is the play for Akaru.
And either kill Rillaboom or Zygarde takes a ton.
Yeah. Which puts it in probably Grassy Glide range from your own Rillaboom for Akaru. And killing Rillaboom means that
Metagross.
well, means that Feeney is going to be
Oh.
really tough for JRL. Because Rillaboom is the Feeney counter. That's it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if JRL's best play, I would say, is probably protect Zygarde and switch in Incineroar here. Which seems like a very passive play when you're in a good position. So maybe just go Incineroar and click 1,000 Arrows, because you'll at least take care of you'll get rid of Akaru's Incineroar.
Does Unboosted Arrows definitely kill the Spectre here?
I do not know that. I know JRL's probably calcing it.
Ooh.
And yeah, Feeney, and let's see, did he Shadow Ball the Rillaboom?
Ooh.
He didn't. Ooh.
Oh. That mattered?
Probably without terrain, Grassy Glide. I don't know how strong that would be.
If that mattered, that was very unfortunate.
Yeah. All right, the Metagross is in. Which is an interesting time to throw out the Metagross in front of the Incineroar. Like, even if this Feeney, I mean, maybe this Feeney is Specs or something, because maybe, I mean, okay.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, knocking off those leftovers is huge. Locking into Moonblast is a really good call. Yeah, I don't think JRL should just let Rillaboom die. I feel like the play there was knock off and switch into Genesect.
I think JRL
Rillaboom
might not
switching
have
into Genesect.
expected the specs, so he thought he would just get a free U-turn there.
I
I
think
don't know it's Specs. I
Or,
would guess a Spiny is Scarf,
oh
yeah.
yeah, it could be Scarf actually, yeah.
Scarf also, yes.
And so the issue is Akaru still has the double fake out, and so he can just protect Metagross, bring in like Incineroar or something, and just fake out, or Rillaboom in this case, and just kind of play that game and not let
Mm-hmm.
JRL pressure Metagross that much. And that's why keeping
That was definitely a turn where
your
you could have made the
Rillaboom.
big call and predict the Fini switch there.
Yeah, Zygarde's definitely the
That
play
would have been
here.
a good read.
Click 1,000 Arrows and Flamethrower. Yeah, I think JRL really might have messed up letting that Rillaboom go down. You needed its fake out, I think, and you needed it to beat Tapu Fini.
JRL getting very low on time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, actually, his best bet might be. Ooh, I don't know about that protect.
Oh,
Okay, it worked out because I was saying his best bet might have just been clicking Dragon Dance there because he's getting to the point where if he can get off a Dragon Dance or two, he can actually sweep because Incineroar's only got one switch in left. And if he gets back to +1, like with rocks, he can start beating Tapu Fini and the Kieran Black. And at +1 flamethrower, that's got to do a lot to Metagross, even if the Metagross is at +1. Oh, he reads the protect, and Akaru doesn't go for it.
what? Well, okay.
So now here, I think you just got to flamethrower the Metagross and Thousand Arrows.
I think Akaru
Except
could
that,
double the genie though.
yeah, I suspect
I think that
Akaru
would
will
kill.
fake out and body press the Genesect.
Yeah.
So you got to get some damage on this Metagross, otherwise it's going to start running away with stuff.
Does Genesect run minus defense or minus speed F nature?
I think they're typically minus the death.
Because
Either way, sorry, go ahead.
because maybe after the body press is in range of a grassy. Oh, okay. I was going to
Yeah,
say if he was going to be in range of a glassy glide after a body press, but now maybe the Zygarde is in range of a grassy glide.
I I think yeah, you just protect Zygarde and flamethrower the Rillaboom here.
The
Yeah,
penny in
that's
the back
exactly
is
what you
looking
do.
like a massive threat as well.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
Fini. Yep. Because it's a scarf, right? So now I don't know how speedy the Zygarde is.
I mean, I would assume it's standard Zygarde, and so it should outspeed the Phoenix at +1. So if I'm JRL, I'm switching out Genesect here, clicking Thousand Arrows, getting good damage on the Metagross.
Well, if,
But
if Fini's Scarf is usually timid, which would outspeed Adamant Zygarde.
It's Scarf with
okay.
Heal Pulse. That makes sense. Yeah. And so how much did
Wow.
Flamethrower do? 36.
Wow.
Yeah, this is probably a win for Akaru.
Yeah, I think you would need a crit flamethrower.
No, I mean, so Fenny's locked into Heal Pulse here, right?
Yeah.
So you can click Fake Out into the Finny, Flamethrower. Yeah, that's what he's trying. I mean, Flamethrower plus Flare Blitz. How much does that do into Metagross? Ooh, he switches out the Incineroar. That's interesting.
Oh.
Doesn't target the Metagross?
Yeah, so now this is
I think you
over.
needed to go for the crit there.
Or at least just Flare Blitz plus Flamethrower. Yeah, because the issue is you don't have a way of beating. You might be able to beat Kieran Black. I don't know how. With Genesect locked into Flamethrower, I don't see it. Yeah, I think this is over. And yeah, this is one of the biggest issues with this Hazard Stack team is Cosmic Power Metagross. Your only counter to it, if it gets set up, is Dragon Tail Kieran Black, which obviously can't get it off. If they're at +2, they just body press you. So it's a really tough matchup for JRL there. You basically have to get hazards up and keep like Incineroar and stuff on the field so that Metagross can't get set up. Yeah, I think they both played pretty well. I do think in like that second or third last turn, Jiro had to go for the Flare Blitz plus Flamethrower on Metagross. But I guess he didn't really have any options because Akaru was always just going to heal Pulse. So, yeah, I think it was over before then. There weren't any options.
Mm.
Game 2 has started.
Yeah. Oh. Sand versus sun.
Both size spam as well.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
Guitar,
a
it's good, but JRL has a Formosa.
yeah. I mean, Sparamosa and changing the weather on the Sand Rush users could be really, really good in this matchup. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. Jero has two ways to play it. They either have the, you know, just try and use Torkoal to control weather so that, you know, the Sand Rush users don't really beat you, which doesn't really help because I'm imagining the only thing that's faster than the Sand Rush users are Venusaur and Pheromosa. So that could be a viable way of playing it. Or JRL has what seems to be a better Trick Room offense with Torkoal and Diancie. And so maybe they just try to set up Trick Room and try and sweep, especially if it's body press Diancie, then that can be really good into T-Tar that switches in. But of course, you know, because you think Torkoal and Diancie together can beat Amoonguss plus whatever Akaru has.
I also think that side spam in this matchup benefits a bit more Akaru than JRL.
Yeah, Kara's Necrozma is really big here.
Yeah, the only resists really for JRL are his own side spam mons, which take a decent amount. Yeah.
If he
This
can
is
just... Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying this is just a tricky matchup for both of them to play. You have so much terrain and weather that you're trying to control.
Ooh. If maybe that Lele's scarf.
Yeah, given the lead, I would think it is.
That'd be a weird composition though on Akaru's team, right? I mean, I've seen this team before, but I don't remember what Lele is. But that would just be weird. You have two Sand Rush users, so you got plenty of like fast offense. But yeah, leading it suggests it might be because I think the Pheromosa lead from JRL is pretty obvious. I mean, if you're JRL though, if it is Scarf Lele, what options do you have? I guess you can follow me and switch into Incineroar, expecting a Dazzling Gleam out of Lele. And if Lele
Incineroar?
locks its, or sorry, into Venusaur, sorry. Because then if Tapu Lele locks itself into Dazzling Gleam and Dracovish is using Fish's Friend, it can't do much to Venusaur. Venusaur's in a good position there to start firing off like Sleep Powders or attacks. I also wouldn't be surprised if Akaru's Lele is safety goggles here, because that would seem like their best safety goggles user. I mean, I guess Necrozma could be it as well. And again, I think JRL probably has access to this team, so he probably knows what these items are. And since he's taking so long, I'm going to guess it's Scarf Lele, because he knows he's in a tight spot.
Oh.
Nope, it was not.
Oh.
And the
Wow.
helping hand, so no follow me out of Ndidi. So then who the hell do you go into? Because something's dying in this Pheromosa slot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who are you willing to sack here? You can't sack Torkoal. I think you have to go Venusaur and hope he didn't click a Psychic and Fish's Rend into that slot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the helping hand play was just maybe, you know what he probably did? He probably calced it.
Oh, that's specs.
Yeah, that did a lot on. So I'm guessing that's probably specs. It's probably a bulky specs. And
And
JRL probably calced it and saw that U-turn KOs like whatever's standard in the calc type of way, but this is probably like way bulkier than that.
yeah. Oof.
Ooh. That works out.
Banded Fish's Rand.
Oh, for sure. But now you got to be careful because now, whenever one of these sand rushers is on the field, you got to play the game of do I switch in Torkoal or not if you're JRL.
I think the question is, does the Venusaur live Gleam here?
I don't think so.
28%. Well, I'm assuming this is a slow, bulky Lele. JRL probably knows that if he calced however much U-turn did. I mean, he's already at 30 seconds, though. He's in a tight spot. I feel like you got to bring in Torkoal and try and get off a sleep now with Dracovish. Did he go for it?
Oh.
Yes, he did. Oh,
Oof.
Solar Beam. And it doesn't do enough.
Wow.
Okay, but this is still a good spot because you can easily just go into Pheromosa here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think you got to play the. You still need to keep Sun up. So I feel like you got to U-turn on Dracovish and switch in something. I don't know what, because this Tyranitar is about to do pretty decent damage onto everything. Yeah, Jero just has no bulk on his team at all. Like Diancie is it.
Should be Necrozma here. Yeah.
Banded Bolt Beak.
Yeah, Bandbolt Beak's gonna do a ton to Necrozma. But it probably lives, so it's probably free to fire off an Expanding Force here.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think Akaru's got a question of, do they want to risk their Amoonguss? Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
What lives?
Well, Amoonguss lives.
Wow.
Yeah, this is trouble for JRL.
I think Titor just clicks. Oh, well, yes. Necrozma also. That's basically a free kill here.
Yeah, I don't see how JRL comes back from this. This is just a horrible matchup for JRL for starters. You never want to load up Sun into Sand.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know about this team pick. It's just tough for JRL. It just has no bulk at all. Like, if you're in a bad position.
Now Lele cleans.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's over. You just click Dazzling Gleam, Expanding Force a bunch, and you win. That's tough. JRL got two really tough matchups, but that's the way it goes. You gotta try and play through them somehow. Man, that 2-loss bracket is tough.
Yeah.
Like, if we went through the 1-loss and the undefeated bracket, or whatever, I think there's only one person left in that.
Yeah.
How many people would we have expected to see in that versus the 2-loss bracket that has a bunch of people you would have expected to see in the undefeated or 1-loss? Oh, whoa! Not enough. It was a cool play though.